Okay, guys. So I just wanted to make a quick video to keep you caught up on what we did today, which is Tuesday, the 25th of January. Um, and so just want to make sure you guys know we're starting our new unit on chemistry. And what we did is the first thing we wanted to talk about is, okay, when we talk about chemistry, we think in chemicals, all this stuff, atoms, but we want to try and start as much from the beginning as we can. And one of the things we want to think about is, okay, like what are we made of? What makes a human being? And a lot of people said things like cells, and blood and water, and some people say carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, all those type of things, and they're right. All those are true, but what we want to focus on is we are made up of atoms, right? So every structure, when we say water, our water molecule is made up of one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. So it's still made up of these individual atoms. So the first thing that we did is we made sure we added this to our notes. And so, take a second, add in, okay, so atoms, we know that atoms are the most basic unit of a chemical element. And that matter or atoms make up all matter in our known universe, right? So it's not just us, it's not just Earth, but everything that we know of within our universe. So we start with here on Earth, and then we have our solar system and our sun, and then going into that we have our galaxies, and then we have the billions of galaxies that make up our universe. We see, and I'm sure there's ones that are out there that are unknown, but all these elements, we see these same elements across the universe, which is kind of crazy. Um, so then what we did is, for the next activity, and this is what I want you guys to add to your notes too, is you go to this website here. You might have to just type that in, and it's got an article. And I want you to just read through real quick. It gives you a little bit of information. We want to practice reading and gathering information from what we read to answer these questions. So how many naturally occurring elements are there? And then how many total? And we want to actually write this in here because we talked about with notes, we need to give them context, right? So like, if you just said forever, right? Well, is that talking about how long you're going to love your current boyfriend or girlfriend? Or is that talking about how long atoms last, right? So we want to have this context in there, okay? And then, ooh, whoa. And then this one, we want to draw molecules. So what that should look like, what the second part says is for each label, write the definition for each particle. So as you draw this, you guys have seen this before. So we have our nucleus. And in our nucleus, we know we have our protons and our neutrons. And then usually we see some sort of diagram with the electrons orbiting, not exactly correct, but we got electrons around the outside. And then you're going to label it, and you're going to say something like, okay, these are proton. Whoa, this is just getting bad. Protons, these ones are neutrons, and then this one out here is electrons. So hopefully your drawing is a lot better than that. But then the second part, the definition, so along each side of these, what I want you to write is something quick that you learn about those, right? So protons, what charge do they have? Where are they located? Neutrons, what charge do they have? Where are they located? Same thing with electrons. So that's what I want you to have in your notes so we can go back and reference that, okay? Then the last thing that we did was we did this activity here. Whoa, I don't know what happened to my slide. Apparently it disappeared. But basically, you want to draw something like this in your notes. And we want to look at what four main elements make up the human body. And so hopefully you'll see something with similar percentages to this. But we find that about 99% of the human body is comprised of four different elements. Of all the elements that are out there and all the types of atoms, there's really just four. So just kind of draw these in your notes, kind of something that's similar to this, kind of shaded in. So this is saying, okay, 65% is made up of oxygen and then carbon or whatever it is, okay? And that's the last thing you'll add to your notes. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Bye.